Okay, let's be straight. The earbud market is overblown right now, with many new earbuds popping up every now and then. And trying to navigate through which earbud you want to buy, it's like finding the perfect sun grain near the beach. And this is nothing new. When Apple released the original earbuds, everyone was very excited. The sound quality was premium, the battery life was pretty good, and the design, this is what Apple is really good at, was very attractive to pretty much everyone. Not only the people who could afford it, but even for the average consumer. But what we have learned from the past examples is that there's always ways to improve. And this is what many companies have been trying to do for about many years now. This includes trying to improve the active noise cancellation technologies that Apple introduced, the battery life, trying to make it longer, adding extra features such as making certain earbuds to connect to multiple devices at once. But the average consumer is looking at how can they get most out of something by spending the least amount of money. And this is what I found about the Tozo T6. Maybe they're not exactly a replacement to the Apple Airbuds, but instead tapping on the average consumer frustration. And something that most consumers want is longer battery life, better sound quality, and the ability to easily control them with a single touch of your finger.
And speaking of sales, Tozo T6 is currently smashing it. They have more than 200,000 reviews on Amazon with 4.4 out of 5 ratings, and even the past month have sold 8,000 units, which begs me the question, why people are so excited and what is driving this massive interest? Well, this is where we're going to find out. At the first glance, the design of the case feels pretty good on the touch. It's not glossy, it's not smooth, just like the Apple Airpods. It feels a little bit rougher than a glossy surface, but this is actually not a bad choice. And Tozo was pretty smart about it. It turns out that naturally the fingerprints, especially if you have oily fingers, gets absorbed over time. And that saves the time from having to clean the case, maintaining it, which can be a little bit frustrating over time. On the front bottom of the case, there are 4 LED lights indicating the battery life of the case, and at the bottom it has a port which allows you to charge the case. Something I like from Tozo is that they provide support for wireless charging, and this is especially the case where many phones on the market, they support wireless charging. Not big of an issue, but something I found interesting that it's slightly harder to remove each earbud from the case, and sometimes you may have to squeeze from each side in order to be able to remove it effectively. However, I wouldn't really worry about it, just make sure that you don't drop it. And you may notice that the top of each earphone has a glossy surface, and this is not a coincidence. The surface of each earbud makes it easy for you to execute some commands. For example, if you listen to the music, you can single tap to pause, play music, double tap on the right earbud to skip, and double tap on the left earbud to go backwards, one song back. If you're receiving a call, tap on either earbud to pick up the call, touch and hold for a couple of seconds to reject the call, or during the call you can touch and hold for a couple of seconds to end the call. Quite simple, and this is a feature which I really find convenient because having to pick up my phone from my pocket and then control everything on my phone, it's kind of time consuming because then I'll have to take off my phone, put it back in my pocket. It can be quite messy. And speaking of phones, it's a perfect time to assess the microphone quality of the Tozo T6. Now, speaking directly to the microphone, as you can hear, the audio is slightly different than normal, and I would say that the quality is not bad. I mean, I tested it with a friend of mine, and he was able to listen and understand everything clearly of what I was saying, so I'm not really worried about it. And I'm speaking while there's some background noise. And as you can see, I have to raise my voice a little bit in order for the other person to be able to hear me and, of course, to understand what I'm saying. But other than that, I think the quality is very good and very convenient to use. One thing I found from the T6 earbuds is that the surface can be a little bit sensitive sometimes. For example, there was one case where I was trying to adjust the earbud on my ear. It confused it as I was trying to touch the surface to stop the song or skip the song to the next one because I was trying to adjust the right earbud. But this is not a big issue, especially if you try to adjust it on the left to the right side because this doesn't involve touching the top. However, I wouldn't really worry about this because you can simply change the nozzle to a bigger one in order to fit your ear. This is the advantage of Tozo. It provides us with 5 different sizes, allowing a pool of diverse individuals to use them and try them on and see which one fits the best. One of the core assessments to ensure that the earbuds are worth taking or worth buying is the audio quality. They feel comfortable on the ear. However, you have to make sure that you place them in a way that the top surface doesn't collide or doesn't touch with any part of your ear, because if it does, then it may accidentally perceive it as touch and hold, which increase or decrease the volume depending on whether it touches the right or the left earbud. So touch and hold on the right earbud while listening to the music means turn the volume up, and touch and hold on the left earbud means volume down. So make sure that the surface is clearly visible while listening to the music. In terms of the sound quality, I will say that it's the best quality I've ever heard in my whole life, but I can say that it exceeds my expectations. I can tell that there isn't enough bass when it comes to listening to the music, but pop songs or folk or hip hop, actually, the audio is actually really good, and it definitely exceeds my expectations. And it's definitely a set of earbuds I would use for my daily use of listening to the music, or perhaps listening to YouTube videos, or auditing lectures, or for audiobooks. And speaking of concentration and listening to lectures, I also use them while being in the library, and although it doesn't come with active noise cancellation, it does come with passive noise cancelling technology, which is the way the nozzles are designed that prevents or at least minimizes the background noise coming from outside. And while I was in the library, I was thankful for the long battery life that these earbuds provide of up to 12 hours without the need to charge them by using the case. But whenever you need to use your case to charge them, it can provide up to 4 to 5 times of total charges, bringing up the total battery life of up to 50 hours on the go. Now, this is extremely useful in my opinion because I'm very battery reliant, where I can do multiple things during the day. For example, I may study for a few hours, then go to the gym, and then go back to the library, go back home, and even that, if you use them for like possibly 2 hours a day, you are listening to the music for 2 hours a day, then together with a case, they can provide you up to a month worth of battery life. And in my view, this is very convenient, and the main feature where Tozo is having an edge compared to other earbuds, even with earbuds which are much more expensive than the Tozo, for example, the Apple Airbuds, which only last for up to 6 hours and only provide you an extra of 4 to 5 times of total charge time. I think it's about 6 in the earbuds, but even though it still doesn't exceed the 50 hours of total battery together with the case for the Tozo T6. And in addition to that, maybe while you're doing your workout, you're working out, or maybe you want to run outside and it's raining, then the earbuds will be just fine because the T6 are actually waterproof, meaning that they can go underwater for up to 30 minutes, which can definitely help you if you get sweaty or maybe they fall off in the ground which has water because of the rain or something. Then you can definitely recover them within 30 minutes and they'll be fine. One thing I noticed while doing my workout, however, is that if you don't choose the right nozzle for your ear, they may, well, hopefully not, but they may fall off. But in my personal experience, I haven't really experienced them falling off of my ear, but maybe they were close to falling off. But then when I changed to the bigger nozzle, it actually helped with the friction of the nozzle with the ear, which prevented it from falling. So if it does happen to you, if you feel that they're gonna fall off, then change it to the bigger nozzle. It's gonna help you in the long run. And now you probably are questioning whether I should buy these earbuds. And the answer is, depends on what you are looking for. Are you a traveler? Do you tend to use your earbuds for multi-purpose, maybe for long hours, for calls, for music, for studying, for pretty much everything? I would say definitely go for it because they give you a long battery life, something that we don't really see on even more expensive earbuds. And I think the long battery life is what really sells at this point, and especially right now in this time. If you're looking for high quality, I would also say go for it. However, the Apple Earbuds still have a slight edge when it comes to the audio quality, but of course they're multiple times more expensive than the Tozo T6. And even for light workouts like lifting weights, should be perfectly fine. I don't really see an issue, but if you do any movements, then you have to be careful to choose the right nozzles that provide a greater friction against your ear so they don't fall off. You can get them from Amazon for about £20. However, keep an eye on the vouchers or some discounts that Tozo does from case to case, so you can definitely get them for the best price. And lastly, I hope you enjoyed this video. And finally, before you leave, don't forget to hit the like button of this video. Drop a comment below to let me know what feature is the favorite of yours. Don't forget to drop a comment and let me know what feature you are looking forward to try out and which one is your favorite. And let me know what are you looking for earbuds. What is the thing that you look for when you're looking to buy a new set? Don't forget to share this video with your friends. And finally, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell right next to it in order to stay up to date with our latest videos. Thanks for watching. As always, I'll see you in my next video.